Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Coffee and Cards with Heather Danielle, your favorite psychic medium, right? So I have some amazing news. I cannot wait to share it with you. And I know I'm late. Oh my gosh. So sorry that I am late. So I hope that you guys think that I wasn't canceling today. So I did not even have to. Oh, you know what? I really feel drawn to the angel therapy cards. It's been a long time since we did those. Let me know how you feel about that. And I do have some. I love these tarot. These like a new tarot deck that I got. Well, I've had them now for a few weeks, but I absolutely love them. But maybe we could do tea and tarot soon. Let me see what other ones that I feel like it. Good morning, Meg. How are you? I'm running late, and I also did not put on, what is it called? The, the reminder thing. I didn't put that on, so I don't know if we're going to have a lot of people on today because I forgot to do that. And it's also 4th of July weekend, so before I forget, we're not going to have coffee and cards on July 11th. So I'm also thinking about mermaids and dolphins for the July weekend, right? So we might have to do something like that. Okay. Why do when I look through these, I just feel like I have, I'm like, oh, I already used those. I just used those, even though I know I haven't. Ooh, we have Archangel Michael ones too. So it's going to be my choice. Okay, I was waiting for a couple people more. Just a couple more. Hi, Christine. Oh, can you hear me? Who else? Can everyone hear me? Make sure I didn't mute myself. Okay. Ooh, mermaids. Okay, you can hear me, Meg, right? I wonder if that's tarot. Can everyone else hear me? Oh, Alik. Ah! So I know that's not how you pronounce Alik, but I love it pronouncing it that way. I think it's like Ellen in your language. Okay, you can hear me? Okay, cool. Okay. Are you guys ready for the amazing news? Okay. I'm just going to show you a little hint. I'm going to pick up my cup again. So I'm just going to stand here with my cup, minding my own business. Now I can see your name, Tara. I thought that you were the one that says Facebook user. I think it might be Diane or someone that is in the Rise into Your Power group. Do you see anything? Do you see anything that is really amazing? Yes! Yes, I found my ring. Nope, found it. So we're going to go on a little tour. Okay, and I'll show you where I found it. So first of all, if you watch my Instagram stories, you may have heard me talk about this puzzle that I'm working on, this tarot puzzle, right? And it's a big pain in my butt, right? It's horrible. Well, I did have this puzzle, right? Not on the floor, right? Who freaking does a puzzle on the floor? Here. Well, the thing is that it was too long for this dresser. So I went ahead and I put it down here, but I think a puzzle piece fell behind this dresser here. And so yesterday, me and my son went to go get it. And when we went to go get it, I couldn't even believe it. My ring was in between this. So it was in between the wall and this part. Well, here's the thing. You see this here? This is my jewelry box. So what must have happened is I must have taken my ring off, set it down on top of my jewelry box, and then I must have went in like this, and it must have flipped and got down there. Oh my God, isn't that so cool? So everyone was talking about drawers, but my drawers are I don't know, pretty it doesn't look organized, but it freaking is. And so I'm like, if I don't ever go in those drawers, I want to be there. But I'm like, oh my God, you know what is something else too, is that I have been guided to look behind that dresser for that puzzle piece now for weeks, right? And I kept on pushing it off because I was like, oh no. like, I don't really need that puzzle piece. But then yesterday, me and my son was trying to do some of the puzzle. Like, it's hard, man. Like, there's so many pieces out of whatever. That puzzle's a different story. So I was like, okay, let me see if I can find that piece now. And when I went in there, I was like, oh my God. As soon as I opened it up and I seen my ring laying there, I was like, oh my God. I can't even believe it. I can't even believe it. Yes. Yes. I wonder too, because I forget what happened first. Like, did the puzzle piece fall first or did it not? Like, I don't even know. I think that you're right, Christine. Yeah. Could you imagine if that puzzle piece didn't fall? My husband said that he was about to pull all of the dressers out from everywhere in the wall. But like, when people say dresser, here, let me show you one more thing and then we'll get to it, right? Is I think of this is my dresser inside my closet. So when like behind my dresser, I'm like, okay, here's another jewelry case, right? But I'm like, it would have just fallen right here and it went off to the side. So I looked on the side, but there's a mirror here, so it can't fall backwards, if that makes any sense. So that's what I was thinking. But I was trying to get a new ring replicated. What are they talking about? Oh, hey, Trudy. So anyways, thank you so much for being there and supporting me. I can't believe it. And like I never want to take it off now because like it can't fall off. It's like my knuckles are too big for it to fall off. Yes, divinely guided. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay. So yes, so I'm happy now. I'm a happy camper. I am a happy camper. Ooh. Still, I'm gonna feel the cards. Okay. We're going to do these. Come on, it's been a long time. Look at this. They're already falling off. Oh, come on, get the good cards too, the good ones I love from this. Okay, let's get started. Okay, and I just have to tell you too, is for my husband, I didn't tell him. So I wanted to see how long that it would take for him to notice it was on my hand. And so he was talking to me the whole day and I'm like, yeah, you're right. I have no idea. I'm like, I don't understand. And I'm like doing this. And then finally I told him I had a surprise for him that I know that he was going to love, that he was going to love a 11 out of 10. And it was really funny. He's like, can I guess? And I'm like, yeah. And he was like, does it have something to do with your ring? And I'm like, actually it does. And then he's like, wow. And then he looked over at me. He was driving. He did a double take. He's like, you found it. He was so happy. So, all right. Oh, what about a birthmark question, Tara? Like, are you asking about like what they mean, what they symbolize? Because 100% like birthmarks, they say that birthmarks are often a place where you have died in a past life. And then it's almost like the energy from it has come over and bled onto this life. Like, I don't want to say bled into it, but it's like you are scarred or, you're scarred from that life, right? So it's really funny, you guys, is that my son, his dad, and his dad's dad all have strawberry birthmarks, like almost the size of their head, on the back of their head. And even back then, when Mason was born, and I found out about that, I'm like, wow, I bet you that they were all killed execution style in a war. And I've had a reading done where it said that my son did get killed in a war and that kind of stuff. But all three of them had the strawberry birthmark at the back of their head. Yes. Wow. That's really interesting, Tara, right? That her daughter and granddaughter had them in the groin area, right? So yeah, it definitely probably has something to do with the past life. So now it's like, okay, were you guys scarred in childbirth? Were you guys mostly male? You know what I mean? Did like what happened? Past life regression would be really, really cool. You can do group ones. I recommend one-on-one because the group ones of past life regressions, a lot of times they have a tendency to just rely mostly on your imagination. Wow. I'm going to have to think about that one too. I've never seen that before. Have you looked it up too? Like, I wonder, but it has to be something probably from a past life where you guys were scarred in that area. You know what I mean? Whether or not you guys were, tortured, that kind of thing. If you guys did bad things, you know what I mean? With that part, that kind of stuff, being probably male, that kind of thing. Or if, even if you had something like a child out of wedlock and that kind of thing, because it's like not just the scar of the actual injury, but it's also the mental thing behind it, because like we can mentally hurt ourselves physically, right? Because our thoughts create our reality. So you can actually physically hurt yourself. Like, not like, you know what I mean? Because of like the energy that you put towards it. Like if you hate yourself for like, you know, something that you did sexually or that kind of stuff, and you hate it, then you're going to create issues with your ovaries. You know, you're going to create issues in your female parts. And then, you know what I mean? You're going to create cysts, fibroids, you know what I mean? Endometriosis. You can do stuff like that. And then it says, I have one near my middle of my forehead. Ooh, that's interesting, Kyla. My mother-in-law and daughter had the same birthmark on their leg. Ooh, see? Isn't that amazing? Yes. And you've been hearing those past lives on podcasts lately, Tara, because it's relevant to what you're going through right now. Okay, so first off, we're going to do Monday's card, okay? So Monday's card is talking about parents. These are about the parents that are past and the parents that are here, okay? And so the parents that are here, it's like still the same thing, right? They're loving you as much as they can, right? And so it's like sometimes it's like, you know, our parents who are buttholes, and our parents that don't understand us, and our parents that are, you know what I mean, being like, you know, and sometimes they may even drag you down, right? Sometimes they're the opposite of love, you know what I mean? Like they're the ones that push you down, saying you're never going to be anything, that kind of stuff, right? So whatever your parental thing is, right? It's like they're teaching you. They're here to teach you, to learn, to grow. They have to play the bad guy in the movie, right? This is your movie. They have to play the bad guy so that you can learn and grow. I didn't realize this until after my mom passed, which I think it's really funny that we have parents, and I'm actually wearing the last shirt that my mom had on in the last picture that me and her had taken, right, together before she got sick. I was going to show it to you. I usually have it here, but I can't find it. So what's one thing, right? Another thing is that they're talking about that the parents that are here too is to really try to communicate a little bit more with them, right? Try to, you know, reach out to them and that kind of thing, right? It's like so often that we just like grow up and, you know, we might talk to our parents once a week or once every few weeks and that kind of stuff, right? It's really a time to spend some time with them, to talk, you know, check in on them, that kind of thing, right? And this is also parents from the other side too. So they're here, they're with you, right? And they really, really want you to know that they see everything and that time doesn't exist on the other side. It's really funny because I feel parents coming in from the other side right now. And this is kind of the tidbits that some of them are telling me, right? Is that time doesn't exist where they are. So it's like you might feel like they've been gone a certain amount of time, but they're like, no. You know what I mean? Like we're right here, we're right in front and center, and they're not missing a thing, right? So definitely paying attention to those little subtle signs, especially out in nature, right? A lot of times when we are not getting signs from past loved ones, a lot of times it's because we're stuck in our house, we're stuck in buildings, and it's easier for them to manipulate energy outside because the energy outside is free flowing. Does that make sense? So it's like they were able to, you know, make butterflies come your way, you know, drop feathers, you know what I mean? You know, move coins to get into your path, you know, that kind of thing. So they really, really want you to know that they're here and they're around you too, right? And definitely through music too. And I definitely have like specifically a father in spirit too that is like reaching out through music. So it's like our father figure, right? And they're like, hey, you know what, paying attention to those lyrics that you get and the sounds, and just like when it comes in, you know, just pay attention to what's going on at that time. Yep. Isn't that really cool? It came up for Father's Day and now it's coming up again. Okay. And then if you have your parents here with you, check in on them. Oh, I love that. Oh, good morning, Renee. Beautiful, right back at you. Okay. And by the way, last week's cards were so spot on for me. It was so spot on for me. I hope they were for you too, right? Oh my gosh. And Tara's like, I heard one of my mom's favorite songs yesterday. And Lisa's like, my stepdad loved to send me a song. Look at that. Look at that. Don't you just love this? It's like more confirmation. Excuse me. So singing and dancing came up for Tuesday. So this is talking about not taking so serious, right? This is talking about going ahead and keeping your eyes more on the positive side, getting that energy flowing, you know what I mean? Not getting caught up into the small things and that kind of stuff. And yes. And so I had to go to Ohio. And I'm so excited because I get to see my BFF from Virginia, right? And it's totally like impromptu too. So this is like I'll be singing and dancing because I'll be, seeing her. And like she had this Ohio trip planned forever, but I didn't know that I was going to be in Ohio at the same time as her. And then we ended up being in Ohio at like in the same area too. So she actually booked the hotel across the street for me. Like, how cool is that, right? So definitely some singing and dancing, not taking things so seriously. And I want to read this. Express yourself and awaken your psychic senses through magical power of music and movement. Yes, 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 yes. And so you see this, it says awaken your psychic senses, right? Through music and movement, right? Because, in module 1 of the course too, we're going to talk about the Esther Hicks emotional guidance scale. And that's one of the best ways to like feel better, get connected to spirit, you know what I mean? To improve your mood and that kind of stuff is through movement. And there's also like meditation and stuff like that. So we're going to go through the emotions of that guidance scale, and it's going to be really awesome. So just email me or whatever, message me, okay, about the course thing too, because if this is resonate with you with the psychic senses and opening up, this is like your sign, right? And then it's also talking about asking your angels for help too, by the way. That's another thing that's coming down through, is that we're not meant to live this human life alone, right? So it's like we have to like ask for help and that kind of stuff. We're not meant to like just go through life, but we are meant to like follow the dial, follow the way, and that kind of stuff too. But when it gets hard and that kind of thing, it's almost like reaching out to your parent and being like, hey, I need support. You know what I mean? It's a crazy life that we have here, So it's like, don't be so hard on yourself, And then the more you can ask, for help, the more you're receiving, the more you receive the signs and that kind of thing, right? And so let's see. Yeah, okay. When when I got married, my dad used it to ding me a song when I get into the car, turn the radio to get married. It was playing. Oh my God, Trudy. I love that. Oh my gosh. And then Diane's like, Jack's not a believer like me. But after mom passed, he had an orb land on his hand. Oh my gosh. He couldn't move at all. All the pain in his body left for that minute. Oh my gosh. Then it went away. I think after my mom passed, she wanted to let us know she was okay. For sure. These are beautiful, beautiful like stories and signs. And Annette's like buried both parents' ashes last Monday. I'm back in Colorado now and I've been doing yard work all week. My dad plays songs for me all the time. Oh my God. See, oh wow. I love that too. And I thought about you, Annette, too. Like when I was talking, I was like, wait a second. Like I wonder if this is a message for her. And it's so incredibly funny because, oh yeah, the podcast I heard yesterday, Calling on Your Angels on the Afterlight. Oh yeah, the Afterlight podcast. I absolutely love it. Yes. Yes, and it's like I can so relate to the music, not the song, but the memory it brings. Yes, yes. So sometimes it's not the actual song; it's like the lyrics that show up for it. Because like one of the most strongest connections that I have with my mom in a song was in Sanskrit. And well, half the song's in Sanskrit and then some of it is in English, and Jajajesh, and so it's like my mom never ever played that song. She never was into it. You know what I mean? I don't think I even got really into it until after she passed. And that song is like touched me, and I knew that it was my mom. And it was really funny because one time I was having a healing done and I got this, what is it called? Like this intuitive feeling, right? I had to pay attention to when the lyrics started. That was going to be a message from my mom to me. And I was like, okay, I'm ready to hear the message. But I was like, I know the song. I know the lyrics that are coming up, right? Well, it just so happened that like I must not have known the song that much as much as I did, because the next lyrics of the song were, basically something along the lines of, you have a light inside of you that is so bright and you need not to be scared and share it with the world. And I was just like ugly crying after that, right? Okay. So now Wednesday, this one actually fell out of the deck. Okay. So this is one that we really, really need to pay attention to on Wednesday. And that is asking for help. And then also cutting the cords of what doesn't serve us. Right. So Archangel Michael is really good about cutting loose, letting go. Right. So again, we're kind of like having this buildup almost, so who knows what's going to happen on Wednesday. You might need to have a little bit more patience and that kind of thing. And also just maybe having this a little bit more of, harder conversations with people or, that kind of thing, to where you're like, oh, like I just need to like let go, move on from the bullshit, that kind of thing. Right. And how we were just talking about, asking for help. This is the guy that you need to really ask for help with, because Archangel Michael also helps with, courage and that kind of thing. Right. Okay. Invoking Your Angels. Ooh, nice. That was the name of the song. That was okay. Oh, okay. Invoking Your Angels podcast on the Afterlight podcast, right? Invoking Your Angels. That's a good one. Okay. That's what Tara says is a good one. All right. So Thursday is your heart chakra, right? And I love it right here. I'm going to read this. It says the answer that you seek is in your heart right now. Be open to giving and receiving love. Again, that whole receiving and giving thing, you know what I mean? So remember, making sure that you receive that love. How many heart chakras have I seen that are just like so big outwards, but it's like there's no love going inside, right? And so it's like not only do we need to give love, but we also need to be receiving love. And you can start off with small little things, right? Like going ahead and, starting off with like compliments and, not brushing off thank yous and not brushing off if someone does give you a compliment, you know what I mean? Really taking that to heart, because that's really going to help you be more receptive to other things that spirit wants to send you. Okay. So, and then also like on Thursday too, it's just going to be, soothing yourself, you know what I mean? Going ahead and listening to yourself, not listening to other people. Don't you kick yourself in the butt when you listen to someone else and you should listen to yourself? At least if you're wrong when listening to yourself, then at least you're like, hey, at least I honored me. At least I honored what I was getting, at least I was true to myself and I was not listening to others. It's great listening to others sometimes, you need a sounding board, making sure that you're thinking the right way and that kind of stuff. For the most part, we got to listen to just ourselves, right? Okay. What is the light white on my wall right there? Isn't that kind of cool? I think it's just like a reflection from there. Yeah, I think that's what it is. It does look really cool though, doesn't it? It's like right there. Let me see if it goes away. Oh, it does go away. Darn. I like it there. I like it there. You guys can see me about the jammies. Okay. Yes. Okay. And Renee's like, this card was for me. I am feeling not deserving of all my blessings. Yes. And that's like a vibrational thing, right? And then you work up your vibration, right? You might feel worthy of this, and then you might feel worthy of this, and worthy. And then it just works its way up to where it's like you start to get the concept that like the universe is abundant, right? And everyone is equal and everyone is the same and everyone has the same access to this vibration to where they can have all the abundance in the world, whatever it is, whatever the blessings are, blessings, abundance, So it's like, okay, you might feel okay to be blessed here, but then all of a sudden it's like tears, like that makes sense, like layers, right? And it's like, a lot of times it comes from like a worthiness thing and also like a lack mentality, because you're like, oh, well, I only need this amount of money because, like I don't want to be greedy, like other people don't have it, and then you start going up a little bit. And then to where you finally realize you're like, wait a second, everyone can have all the money in the world. It's just believing in themselves, you know what I mean? And coming from a place of the universe is abundant, right? The universe is abundant. It has plenty to go around, right? So you keep on doing it and you work your way up. Mm-hmm. Yep. I take care and worry about everyone but self unacceptably. Yep. It's so true though, because if you think about it, we're sent here, if you're watching this and if you're drawn to spirituality at all, like majority of the times, like 99.9% of the time, you're here to serve in some capacity. Right? Whether it's serving through like readings, serving through healings, serving through your family. So you want to serve and you want to give, right? And that's what's in your that's in your DNA, when you're born, is to give. But it's like you have to be able to receive too. It's that yin and yang balance, receiving and giving, yin and yang, right? The balance of life, right? Okay, so this is really funny. So I feel like we're really going to have to rely on spirit next week, right? We're just really going to have to be like, okay, what guidance do you have? Okay, don't make any rash decisions this week. I would not do this, not with how the energy feels, right? I would definitely be sitting on any kind of decisions. I would be going more with the flow, being in the present moment, that kind of thing. Because on Friday we have the God box, and the God box card is talking about literally having a box to where you put your worries in that you want to give to spirit, right? You don't want to worry about them anymore. So get them out of your head and get them into your God box. In fact, my God box is behind my book right here. If you see it, it's white. It's clear, I mean. So these are my worries. And I actually ended up putting, it used to be in my Starbucks one, but I ended up putting in here so that I can, the light will hit it and the light will cleanse my worries, right? And it's like, I don't even know what's in here. So let me see. Oh my gosh, I love it. I'm just worried Mason will be safe. You know what I mean? Worried about Aunt Les because my aunt had this cough that was scaring me. But and also because both of her best friends died, right? So that's my God box, right? And then I just trust. I put it in there, and then I leave them in there because then I like to see. I like to go back and just grab one of them or whatever, and then seeing like, okay, my prayers were always answered. Everything always works out. Okay, so doing something like that. Okay, yes. Okay, you can burn them if you want. I don't. I personally don't because I want to. I like to look back and be like, okay, you know, like, these are times that I was worried, and how silly was that? How silly was I worried? I forget things a lot, by the way. So I forget things. So I like to be remembering. And then whenever I do put a worry in there, then I like to look at one or two of them that's already in there and be like, why was I even worrying? So I like to keep that. And then the more I have in here, then it's like, look at all those times the Spirit took care of me. Everything always worked out. So, but you can burn them. And by the way, so I wanted to do like pick a card, but then this card fell out. So this is going to be a card for all of us, right? It says God is in charge. Okay. And so this is talking about don't worry so much about doing the right thing, making sure you're on the right path. You know what I mean? That you're doing this and that, right? Because if you were truly 1000% supposed to do something or be on a certain path, you would already be on there. Right. So I talk with so many people and they're like, oh, if I would have done this and now I regret doing that. And it's like, if you were not meant to do it, then God would have stepped in, right? Some kind of intervention would have happened. You know what I mean? So it does not matter. So if you're going through something or if you're not going through something, whatever it is, right? Just know that if you were supposed to be anywhere other than where you are right now, God would have intervened. Okay. And he would have made it happen. Now, the only other thing that you can do just to make sure that maybe you're making it easier on God, Spirit, whatever you want to call it, universe, is to going ahead. And if you have those hunches, right. And if you have those signs, to follow them. Right? Because it makes you trust in yourself more. It makes you trust in Spirit more. And sometimes it's easier for them because sometimes I just picture my spirit guide trying to make me do something. And it's like trying to get like a toddler to do something and I'm fighting them. Right. So, but if I follow that guidance, you know what I mean? If it's like really obvious, like, okay, definitely do it, you know, and that's going to help out. But in the long run or in the short run, it doesn't matter. It's thy will be done 1000%. Right. So, you know, don't think about, oh, I should have done something. I could have done something. Or maybe if I would have done this in any capacity, this is if you had a past loved one pass away and you're like, oh, well, if I only would have done this. No, you are not God, right? You have a speck of God, but you are not the one collective, you know? So it's like, oh, if I only would have worked here, if I only would have done that. No. If you were still meant to work there, you would still be working there. If you were not meant to work there, then you would have gotten a pink slip and you would have gotten fired. Right? So this is something just to kind of like soothe your heart in a way to know that you are where you're supposed to be. Right? Sometimes you can take the easier road, and that's the road with the least amount of friction, with the most amount of signs. But if you don't listen to them, that's okay. You're still going to go where you're meant to go, but there just might be a little bit more turbulence, if you will. Okay. Oh my gosh. And Diane's like, I got to tell you something. I don't want to keep bringing your mom up, but there has been a lot of bands playing lately. But we were in the band in high school together. Yes. I've been thinking a lot of her lately. Yes. She was my friend. Yes. Don't make me cry. Okay, Diane, now you're making me cry because it was the 4th of July weekend was the last weekend that we had with my mom. And I knew that she was going, right? But we had the 4th of July celebration for her. So it was the last time that we got together as a family with her. I just love her. Just love her. So it's like, wow, can't believe it's been almost 2 years. All right. So it doesn't feel like 2 years. It feels like 6 months, right? But it's okay because she sends me lots and lots of signs. She's freaking so cool. Aunt Judy's being really more active over on the other side now. I don't know what she was going through, but now we're getting more signs from Aunt Juju and that kind of thing, right? Okay. So we're going to pick a card. Sorry, I can't do individual card pulls today. It's because my husband's been doing that, going off on work and that kind of stuff. So like my Sundays have been pretty busy and that kind of thing. So yeah. Oh, and Annette's like, I feel so guilty about leaving my mom and dad in Michigan all alone with no family there. Oh my gosh. But see, yes, I think that last card was also like a sign for you. Like if it was meant to be any other way, it would have been. I think that we all think that way. Like just with my mom, it was like I was spending practically every single night at the hospital with her, but I did not spend the night that she passed. She passed at 1:00 in the morning. And a part of me was like, did she want to go alone? And I was doubting that for a while. And I was like, I should have been there. And I literally told her in my mind, I was like, Mom, if you want to be alone when you pass, you have to go tonight. And then I found out at 1:00 in the morning, and the hospital called me, and I was like, I can't believe she took me up on it, So it's like, we just have to trust. And now I know, I'm like, what, this is the way that it was supposed to be. You have to keep on having that trust. If it was meant to be any other way, and that you would have gotten on a flight, something would have happened to where you would have had to have flown back, or they would have came here if it was meant to be, right? Oh, my mom's birthday is Tuesday. I understand how you're feeling. Oh, yeah, the birthdays are hard. I've been seeing my mom's birthday a lot lately. My mom's birthday's everywhere. And then they usually want to be alone. They do. My mom loved me, though. So I don't know if she would have wanted me there or not. Okay, so we're going to pick a card. And so this is going to be from the Archangel Michael deck, right? Just because I feel like we definitely need the angels this week, right? Okay. And I wonder what's going on Monday, because anything going on with my mom on Monday. Because I don't know when our first oncology appointment was, but whatever. Okay. Here we go. Okay. So I just get to a neutral standpoint, with my body. If you want to put your feet on the floor, if you can, if you want. If you want to uncross your arms and legs, you can if you want. Because uncrossing your arms and legs just makes your energy more open, right? And saying, I am open to receiving, right? And then you're just going to be like, okay, spirit guides, angels, you want to call upon, and you pass loved one for a message, and just say, can you please draw me to the card with a message for my highest good today? And then choose card A, card B, card C. Maybe one of them stands out more than the other. Maybe I'm saying one of them higher pitched than another. Maybe one of them that you're resistant to, and that in itself is a message. If you want more than one, that's okay. So card A, card B, card C. Remember how we practiced during the spiritual challenge, right? So whatever you feel in your heart, like in your body, what your yes is, card A, card B, and card C. And so, yeah, Alik, go ahead and be like, okay, which card is going to help me with this job situation? I love Meg. Meg's like card A with a little bit of C. I think mine is like a little bit of B, and I think a little bit of C. I'm going to cheat. I'm going to feel it. Okay, I think like a little bit of B and like half of C. I don't even have a card that is like standing out. Okay, half of B and a little bit of B, half of C. Yeah. Okay, I can't wait. Oh, this is going to be awesome. Okay. Here we go. Ooh, so card A is spend more time outdoors, right? Where the energy is flowing to where you can actually get those signs from the past loved ones, right? Or from your angels and guides and that kind of stuff too, right? So this, to answer kind of your question too, is that you need more time right now to really focus in on yourself and what you want. Your mind is too busy. And when you're just sitting there trying to like write it out or try to figure it out intellectually, it's not going to happen. You need to be like outside moving a little bit more, right? To be able to get more clarity. Just like with me, when I run, that's when answers come to me, right? When I run and I have to be running outside, that's when I see from a different perspective. And that's kind of like they're talking about too, is that you need to be like outside looking from a different perspective. And it's almost like you'll be getting more signs and more intuitive hits on what's best for you if you were actually outside around that moving energy, right? You have to move somehow, and going outside and being around that moving energy is really, really going to help you be able to decide, okay, what's our next step? What do I need to do, right? And this is also going to help help you get closer to spirit, because you think about it, like spirits around is in living things. Every little living thing has a speck of spirit. The food that we eat that is alive, you know, so that's the reason why it's really good to eat healthy, right? Is because the food is alive. When we eat a lot of processed foods, a lot of animal products, it's all dead, right? It's dead. Right. So that's just something else that they were telling me to tell you too, is that the more things that you are around that are alive and the more things that you eat that are alive, then the better that your connection is going to be and the better that you're going to feel better about the decisions that you have to make. Right. And it literally says the prayer is, thank you for motivating me to spend more time outdoors and for helping me relax and enjoy connecting with nature. Right. So again, another little thing that's popping out here too is to relax. Right. It's like so oftentimes we need to get things done and we're putting on some of these, you know, like guide deadlines, you know what I mean, that we don't really need to put on it. We're putting it on ourselves, you know what I mean? And so oftentimes you're like, oh no, well, someone else is waiting on me. And it's like, no, it's like, just chill. They can wait, right? You don't have to rush into any decisions right now. Right. And for me, 100% too, Christine, for sure. Just sitting near water. That's why I love like outside, you know what I mean, in my backyard. It's just that I do need to spend more time in my backyard, you know? Oh, and Tara's like, you do spend a lot of time outside. Maybe I was drawn to this card. Yes. And keep it up too, right? And making sure that you relax outdoors too. And then you're paying attention to the things that are outside, right? So for sure. And if you've been doing that lately, then it's also spirit saying, hey, I'm watching you and I actually see what you're doing, right? Mm-hmm. Kyla's like, that's what I need right now. Yes. Yes. You feel so much better when you're outside and with nature and that kind of thing. And then if you want to, Tara, you can start seeing if you connect to fairies that are in the bushes and stuff like that. See if you can connect to trees, try tree hugging, try to take the energy from the tree, right? Thanking the tree afterwards for the energy it's giving you. You know what I mean? Doing grounding, that kind of stuff. It'd be fun, right? Getting more into gardening, that kind of thing. Okay. Ooh, I like this. I said a little bit of B, right? So B is explore your options, right? So they're saying that there's options on the table. There's opportunities that are around, but perhaps that you're not seeing it. So maybe you also need to go outside to see from a different perspective, right? So it's like, okay, looking around and being like, okay, hey, what is going on? You know, is there anything else, a different, you know, perspective that I haven't tried, right? So basically whatever you're doing, you can keep on doing it, but then also look at different options, right? And being like, okay, you know, especially when it comes to things like with work and with medical and that kind of thing, right? You know, going ahead and trying a different kind of doctor, you know, maybe a holistic kind of doctor, maybe a chiropractor, you know, a different kind of expert, right? And this is saying the same exact thing too, you know? So maybe it could even be, you know, there's a lot of like coaches, like even not even spiritual coaches, but business coaches that are doing like pro bono work and that kind of stuff to, you know, who are starting up their business. Maybe that's someone that you can look into, that kind of thing, right? Or maybe it's like, hey, if you have been looking for, you know, some kind of change, some kind of transition, look in a different area. So that's if you're looking at a house, like you're looking in a different kind of neighborhood, right? If you're looking for a job, different sites, letting different people know that like you're interested in these kind of things, right? And it's like looking around at some of the tools that you already have and being like, okay, what haven't I done already that with the tools that I have? I hope I'm not being ambiguous with this, but it's almost like that's what that they're telling me to say, right? Is like, okay, whatever tools that you have in your toolbox, is there something that you haven't taken advantage of yet? Because that can really give you some insight. And I am trying to figure out like how this relates to me. Oh, definitely that last part. The tools in my toolbox that I already have that I need to start implementing. So I can totally see that too. Yes. And sometimes we just get stuck in our own heads, you know what I mean? Like this is what we really want. And that could be what we really want, but getting there, it's like we need a different perspective, you know? So a sounding board, a girls' night, you know, that kind of thing to really get some different perspectives. Not saying that you have to do what they say, but it's like almost it gets that ball rolling inside of your mind, right? Okay. Oh, that's right, Tara. You did see a fairy. Okay. I plan a garden this week and water feature that relax in your hard day. Oh, of yard work. Oh my gosh. I'm not. That is beautiful, right? Oh, hey, Shauna. We're doing pick a card. Yes. Okay. I love it too. I really, really freaking love it. I love it. And you know what else too? It has a unicorn on it. So that's my sign. Unicorns. Rock. Unicorns. Oh yeah. Does anyone else have unicorns here too? I feel like someone else is related to unicorns, right? Oh my gosh, I've been seeing my ART chiropractor all week because I have pinched nerves in my back from traveling. Yes. Yes. So definitely maybe keeping up with that. If he wants to like give you a remedy, that kind of stuff, trying that out, a different option as well to help you out with that. And I'm sorry to hear about that. Oh, that's horrible. My elbows have gotten better, by the way. So like I'm eating like a mostly clean diet, like no processed food, no animal products, strict vegan, still juicing, and definitely noticing all the difference too. And I feel like my hormones are like better than they ever been. So I think it's amazing. Ooh, I love this. Okay. So card C, your inner guidance is real and trustworthy, right? So this is like talking, like, the truth, right? You're just doubting yourself, right? So it's like, no, it's like, you got this. And that's one of the things too. It's like a little hill that's going on in this card too, is being like, knowing that you have everything that you need, right? And knowing that you have the truth. And sometimes it can be really hard for us to stand up for the truth when it's just us. You know what I mean? We don't have that support. Maybe someone else isn't like agreeing with you, or maybe you want to have them on your side, but like you just can't, you know what I mean? Because they don't believe in the same thing, but it's like, yourself enough, right? And this is one of the messages from Spirit is like, no, the absolute truth too, right? And you are connected to the highest source too. So for some reason, I was getting to someone as like a little apprehensive about, reaching out to Spirit and that kind of thing, like past loved ones, angels and guides and that kind of stuff, because it's like, oh, it's scary and that kind of stuff. How do I know that I'm talking to the right thing? And it's like setting the intention, right? So just like when religious people, Christians, Catholics pray, how do you know that you're praying to the right God? It's the exact same thing, right? So it's like you set the intention that you're working with the purest, highest form, 100% love and light is what I say, then not to worry. You're totally okay. All right. And it's like, if you're getting those signs too, and you just keep on doubting them, just knowing that it's your ego that's bringing in that doubt, right? Your ego is what's going to tell a story, right? We go more into it, into the course, right? But it's like your ego tells a story. Your ego is emotional about it. Your ego is the thing that creates doubt. Your higher self, your intuition voice, it doesn't do that. Okay, I know it sounds weird, but it's like, it doesn't do that. It's going to be whatever's stilling the doubt that's making you not believe in yourself is your ego, right? Your ego has a place, right? Because your ego is there to protect you and that kind of thing, right? But it's like right now, we don't need the ego to protect us in this moment, right? And so they're saying that you have that knowledge, right? And it says here's a prayer for you. Please help me clearly hear, see, feel, and know the divine guidance that I have asked and prayed for. Allow me to get my ego out of the way so your wisdom can come streaming through me for my own benefit and for those around me, right? And yes, and it's totally Shauna too. I feel like this is totally a card for you, right? And as I've been praying for you and sending you healing, love, and energy, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Shauna. Yes. I will take all of that I can get. Totally. So absolutely love it. So yeah, for sure. And for some reason too, they're talking about the root chakra here as well. So this is talking about, your security and finances, physical, life and that kind of thing. Right. So having a little bit more security in that. And then also just kind of like for me, because I said like half of C too, is that like your root chakra can stem into like your other chakras too, which will create those cysts on your ovaries, female issues and that kind of thing. Right. So it's like the guidance that I'm giving where it's like, okay, I think that I'm going to be okay. I'm really hoping that I don't have to have this surgery coming up at the end of July and that kind of stuff. So I'm working really hard towards it. But I do know that if I absolutely have to have it and that kind of thing, then I know that my body is going to be able to heal better from it than it ever has been able to heal before because, I'm doing everything that I need to do that's good for myself, right? And so it's telling me that my inner guidance with that is real, right? And trustworthy, that I am on the right path, that I am doing good, right? So if you have gotten card C, then just know that. Just know that you're on the right path. You're hearing right. I don't think you guys can see the spammer. I'm blocking them now. Oh, okay. Yeah. You know what? I'll post them into the Rise into Your Power group. Okay. Oh, Christine was like, A was very strong. B and C were quiet. Apparently I needed to hear all three. Yes. Yes. Don't you just love that? You're allowed to do that. You're allowed to do that. Okay. Nice. Okay, I blocked them. So yeah, I'll post these in the Rise in Your Power group here really soon. I want to say, okay, so July 10th, which is next Sunday. Is that next Sunday? Oh, so yes, no coffee and cards next week, y'all. I'm going to Beaver Island. right, with my son and my husband, right? And there's not going to be any reception. As far as I know, there's not going to be any reception. So I won't be able to come, right? So July 11th, no coffee and cards next week. The week after, though, I'm having Spirit Lights on. So Spirit Lights is going to come on and do card readings with me on the 18th, right? And then don't forget, the course starts the 19th, right? So the course has, you know what I mean? Usually, I don't know why I chose the 19th, right? But every Wednesday, usually, it's going to be a pre-recorded module that's released with like worksheets and homework assignments. It's going to be amazing and awesome. And then starting on August 2nd, every single Monday, in addition to the Wednesday module, so there's going to be two things. Wednesdays, the modules are released. And then on Mondays, we have a live coaching call with me, right? A group coaching call on Mondays, right? So just let me know. I can send you over the information about the course and that kind of stuff because it's going to be really, really awesome. I'm super excited. Like I've created almost like 100 worksheets, you know what I mean, as references and, you know, some fun homework assignments and that kind of thing too. So I'm super duper excited about it. And by the way, I just have to tell you, we have the best group of people that have joined up for this course. Like it's going to be off the hook. Like I know that it sounds like I'm trying to sell you something right now, but I'm just like super excited because I'm like, yes, I'm so excited that we're having a great turnout and we have so many people that are just going to be like, yes. So because also the coaching calls too are not just going to be like me talking to you, but it's going to be like practice as well. Right. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So you have a lot of cool people that are to practice with, non-judgmental people, you know, people that are just beginning. Some people are a little more seasoned too, but they're so humble. So I just have to tell you that because I'm just like so excited. Oh my gosh. And Meg, you did sign up for the course. I seen that. And And so if you can't make the live coaching on Monday, don't even worry. You know what I mean? There'll be replays. So I forgot to tell people that. So not even to worry about that at all. If you can't make it when it's live, there'll be replays and you'll get your own student account and that kind of thing. Right. And you'll have lifetime access to the course too. That means that if I don't use the platform that I'm holding my course up anymore, I will download everything and send it to you so that you will have it forever. Right. So I hope you guys have a wonderful week. I am starting my week off really well with my ring that I found yesterday. I love you so, 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 so much. And I will talk to you guys soon. Take care.